Hello, everybody.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, I was asking just to start the class if you I'm going to close the video. Okay, if,
Okay.
if you have read the feedback that I wrote.
Yes, teacher. In my case, I read the feedback.
Okay, so do you have any question about the feedback? Do you have any comment or
No, teacher.
I don't know?
I really realized that I had made a mistake, and I appreciate your comments,
I
but
don't
I
re
don't have doubts about.
I don't remember your mistake.
Well, in my case, I didn't focus on the TBL and the final task.
Okay, but
So
mhm. But I can say that you did some activities and you developed activities correctly. I mean, you prepared
yes.
your activities and everything, and it was kind of ludic in terms of
Mm-hmm.
having them active during the class. So it is a good point.
Yes, thank you. But I really appreciate your comment because I didn't realize about the final task. I thought that it was great. I don't know why, but when I saw your comments, I say to myself, "Oh my God, yes, this is true."
Okay.
So I'm going to take into account for my next lesson plan.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's difficult because in my case, I always been to tutor English, so um, all the time and explain topics and explain grammar and I am going to give tutor in English, but English classes completely English classes are a little um, sometimes, okay? Do you
Yes.
understand what I mean?
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand what you mean. And actually, I would like to say that I understand that most of you are a little concerned with this idea of teaching with PBL or with other kind of strategies because you have a trajectory, and I understand that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
I understand that this is sometimes difficult for you to find your way. But the idea of the practicum, of the teaching practicum, is exactly that you try to
Oh
find your
yes.
way, following the suggestions if you want, or
Yes. Of
saying,
course.
yeah, why not? Okay, Noemi, I
Okay.
don't
Thank you.
understand what you wrote. Noemi. Tanya, by the way, if you want, you can write your question. Okay.
I
Um,
also received the feedback, teacher.
yeah, do you have any question, Carolina?
No, teacher. I think it's
Okay.
everything clear.
Okay. But anyway, I'm going to recommend you to
Mm-hmm.
watch your video again. Not only you, Carolina, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because it is very interesting that if you watch your video, you're going to find things that you could say, I would like to do this thing differently or not. Okay. So
Okay.
as part of the second reflection, I would like to ask you to watch the video and to try to see what kind of things would you change.
Okay.
Okay. Remember that in the form I told you in the first like in the first time that we examined this form, it is not necessary to write in each one of the lines, but it doesn't mean that you don't need to write because
Yes.
some form sometimes you don't reflect upon the points. Okay, so it is not the form about the reflection is not about you to tell me what you did, but you to reflect upon that specific aspect in your class. Okay, if there is a point, for example, that says I don't know, use of the time, I don't need that you tell me how much time do you use or how much time you used. I would like
Okay.
you to tell me if the organization of the activities, the time for each one of the activities was the most appropriate according to you, according to your observation, and if you could improve that use of time. Okay? I want
Okay.
I wanted to clarify this for everybody because sometimes I read some things that I don't understand why you wrote this. If it is a reflection, why do you write that kind of things? So this time, I would like you to give me a real feedback about your class. Yeah, do you agree?
Okay. Yes, teacher.
Okay, Carolina. Mm,
Hello, teacher. Do you hear me?
yes, Noemi, I can.
Okay. Sorry, I was having problem with my microphone. Oh yes, you gave me the feedback and you told me something about to make more communicative tasks as the ones I use in the second part of my video.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree. This is good for sure. I need to make it more like in the class like this.
yeah. The second part was more like a active, and you could see it.
Yes.
Like your students were participating more and doing more things with the language that you were teaching, and it was very interesting to see Jurani trying to speak, right? Because it is hard for her, but it is
Yes.
interesting that she's making the effort,
Yes.
and especially in that kind of activity that you suggested at the end, it was very good. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect, teacher. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other, Cesar? Good evening.
Good evening, teacher.
How's everything?
Everything is okay.
Okay.
How about you?
Good. Did you read my feedback this time?
No, sir. The last time that I guess that it was Sunday night,
I was
and I didn't see it, so I
working
forgot
on
about
that.
it. Oh, okay, teacher, but it's already upload.
Yes, it is already. It is not uploaded. It is on the grade. You can read the comment that I wrote. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going there.
Okay. Tanya, the thing is, Tanya, I understand. I'm going to contextualize the rest. Tanya is a preschool teacher. She's working with preschoolers, and I suppose that she's working. I suppose that she's working on the specific topics that she was given, and she's working with numbers, and the kids are very receptive in this sense. So what the kids are doing is recognizing the numbers, and now they are doing some mathematical operations. They are doing some additions and subtractions. I think that it is the correct way to do this. And I understand, but I didn't know, Tanya, and this is something that you will hear, that you teach math. I didn't know that. I thought that you were a language teacher. So maybe if you contextualize a little bit about what you are doing, I can understand what you are saying. Okay? Because you are using mathematics in English. So, but my suggestion is, in this case, to try to find another alternative in order to get more related with the topic. Okay, a different strategy. Try to find another kind of strategy. Yeah, because for me sometimes it is very repetitive to see you asking about something. Also, I understand that this is a math class. Okay? Okay. Okay, any other question?
Teacher, we need to give the reflection to, by Sunday, no?
The Sunday is 18. What
Yes.
is that?
Teacher, I have a question about the third video.
Yeah.
Teacher, I
Sorry,
worry.
Sarah. The answer for Noemi is yes. Okay, continue, Sarah. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, teacher. Teacher, I am worried because my students, for example, are going to take vacation this Friday. So I don't know if it will be possible to do the third video with them. I talked with them, but they are going to answer the next week. But I don't know if it will be possible or not. So I'm worried about that.
So try to do your.
I don't know. See, other classmates have the same problem, but
I think that the majority of. I don't know, Cesar. When your students go out for vacation.
Teacher, the thing is that the schedule of my
is B.
Is B, so
no
they're
problem.
living in the same in December. But
Yeah,
the thing is,
no
for example, we're finishing the first term, and now there are activities related to Christmas, and okay, Thanksgiving is the 22nd, and also okay, for example, for me it's a little bit there's a lot of problems because I'm not in the classroom. I mean, in this school year, I'm not teaching. I'm more in the administrative part of the school. So every activity that I've been doing is asking for the permission to a teacher because of the letter that we did and that we have to request in there. So I ask for permission, and every 2 weeks, that is we have to record the video. I do the class with those students, but that's the situation. And I don't know. I guess I don't know if I'm the only one in Schedule B.
No, actually, I am in that one too. Yeah. And actually, like my kids, they are also getting prepared for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so they are doing like a lot of rehearsals. So I don't know. I am worried about that too.
I'm worried too. Okay. Yeah. What can we do? So what do you propose? Because there is a video, a last video that you'll have to upload. I suppose that Noemi doesn't have problems. I don't know, Wilton.
No, teacher, I don't have.
Wilton, do you have problems with that?
Well, teacher, to be honest, I think so. But they're going to let me know this coming Friday. So I mean,
I didn't understand.
Okay, teacher, that I was saying that maybe I have some problems, but maybe because some of my students are going to leave, but I'm not sure because they are going to let me know this coming Friday. Because
okay.
I take this the recording on Sundays. That's my case.
Teacher.
Wait until yes. Go.
Good evening, teacher.
Hello, Rafael.
Sorry for being late.
Don't
I
worry.
was in a rush. Teacher, well, I'm listening that you are talking about the video. That's a video, yes?
Yes.
Well, it is that well, for me, I'm going to have problem with that because my students are leaving this from school this week because they graduate in the school. There are grades in the final week of November. So the ones who are okay, they don't have more classes. and some of my students, 3 of them, they are going on vacations, and I'm just going to have one to record the video. So I don't know what to do there.
Okay, let's look for solutions. Okay, Tanya doesn't have problems. Noemi doesn't have problem. I don't know, Luis Carlos, do you have any problem?
The recording for the 25th?
Yeah, you can do the recording next week.
It's just, well, I just have to get permission at the institute where I work at, but I think I'll have it for the 25th without any problem.
You don't have any problem?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I may, but I think I'll solve it.
Yeah, because we only have the rest of this week and next week, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you can do your class in advance. Maybe if you send me the lesson plan before and try to do the class during this week, Sarah and Wilton. I don't know.
For this week?
Yeah. Yeah, because the problem is that they are going to leave, right?
Right.
So maybe this week you can do something. Or what do you propose?
Yes, I will try.
Okay, Wilton. What do you say, Rafael?
Well, teacher, I record my videos on always on weekends.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes, on weekends because busy and they are busy. I don't know if I send you because you have to check you have to give us feedback about the lesson plan, the reflection. So I don't know.
Or what do you propose? Because I understand the situation that you have. Yeah, in the case of Cesar, Sarah, what do you propose?
Well, in my case, I'm going to check with them again, maybe.
And what if,
I don't know.
And what if they can't?
Sorry?
What if they can't?
Because I will have to record this Saturday.
Yeah, pero ¿qué pasa si no pueden?
Okay. I don't know. I am thinking right now.
Okay. So take your time for thinking. Try to talk to them if it is possible to do the recording this week. I don't know, Cesar, what you are going to do then. And if you don't have like a positive response, let me know. But let me know your proposal as well. Okay?
Sure. Teacher?
Yep.
I already sent my reflection and my lesson plan, but I think that, as you were saying, I will have to like correct something. And actually, I was thinking maybe record my video tomorrow. I don't know if should I wait for your feedback or should I do it? I don't know what to do.
That was the most convenient, I mean, but I don't know, taking into account the time that you have. So if you want to take the risk and record that
tomorrow, without your feedback.
The thing is that I don't have time. I have to do it right now, and it is kind of.
No, and you have class. Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I will do it, and I don't know. I will take the risk because I am afraid that I won't have more time.
Yes.
So I want to. I don't know. I think that's my best option.
Okay, don't worry about that. So I have here this. Yes, Rafael.
Oh, well, sorry for saying this, but I don't know, teacher, if because of the problems we have. So, in your consideration, do you think that well, it's mandatory to record the third video, teacher? Because
It is supposed because this is practical. So then, what is your suggestion?
No, but I don't know if you, because you're
I
the
am
teacher. I don't
asking.
know.
I
What can
know.
you tell us?
I know that I am the teacher, but what is your suggestion? I am
No, but
listening.
another activity, another. I don't know.
Okay, but
I don't
which
know.
one? Try to. That's why I'm telling you. I am telling you that if you cannot do it, just because I don't know, they can attend or you can deliver a class as Cesar's case. Propose me something.
Sorry that I intervene, but
Okay.
maybe for those who are having trouble with
Problem.
school, going on holiday and that stuff, why not getting a group of people, maybe that they may be looking for an English class or a tutoring session.
Sorry for the interruption, Luis. The problem is that in the case of them, that's what they are doing. They have a group of people. The problem is that they are going to get out of for vacation, I don't know, and they are not going to have those students in the class. That is the problem. They are not working at school, and that's the big problem.
Yes, teacher, and
Exactly
we have to
what you're
take into account. We have to take into account the authorization that they sign. Because of they are no older. Yes, they are not old. They are minor age, and so there are sometimes parents. They say that no, because we are going to upload the video on YouTube, and that's why we have to do the letters to send the letter to the university.
That's true.
And so we can't do it with someone else because of the time, because we have to do the process again. Yes, I don't know if you understand that.
What about, sorry, but what about, for example, giving a proposal to people that may be interested in taking English lessons, and maybe you could start giving some I don't know how to say, particular classes and earning some extra money. Like someone that a friend of yours that is working at an office, and sometimes he needs to read some mails in English. I really need to learn some English, and you can offer like a free class for they to try, but you record the class. I don't know. I'm just giving suggestions. Sorry that I.
Oh, thank you, Carlos. Thank you for your suggestions.
Noemi, I have to check those videos for the final grades, so I can check the videos by the 25th. I cannot do that any other time because I have to give you the feedback the 25th.
Teacher, okay. Anyway, teacher, if you anyway, if we send you, for example, the reflection with the lesson plan, for example, tomorrow, when can you give us feedback?
Let's think about another alternative, and it could be sounds a little crazy, but if you cannot have students, try to design your class, but only if you cannot have your students. Try to design your class as a tutorial class, a video tutorial class. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
Like a virtual class, for example.
Exactly, but explaining something,
a topic,
yeah, but think about the strategy that we are using. So you have to assign tasks. You have to give time for the tasks, a certain time, okay? And you have to give the steps for the tasks, and try to make like if you were giving a class for a group. This kind of classes demands more from you because you are not going to have students. Okay?
Okay, and it will be the duration of this video.
I think 30 minutes, or I don't know, you plan. Send me your plan before. And you tell me.
Okay, teacher. In the case we send you the lesson plan with the reflection, when do you think can you give us feedback? For example,
when are you planning to send it?
For example, tomorrow or Friday. I don't know.
No, the thing is that Friday I'm going to be in Neighbor. So so I have to wait till the weekend.
And for example, tomorrow.
Take the reads and send you the feedback, or send you the reflection and the video as well. I think could be my case.
I couldn't listen. Sorry.
So, teacher, if we send you tomorrow, can you give us feedback when?
No, by the weekend.
By the weekend?
Yeah.
Sunday or Saturday?
I think that's Sunday.
Sunday. Oh my God. Okay.
Teacher, in that case, for example, in my case, it would be better to take the reads and send you the reflection and the video as well.
Okay. Could be.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Anyway, if I have the time, to check your reflections and video, I'm sorry, I'm going to do it as soon as I can. Okay? And I let you know when I have done it. Right? But the thing is that on Saturday I work almost all day long and I don't have much time. That's the problem. But anyway, I'm going to try. Okay?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Complicated? Yep. Okay, any other question?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. So we are going to do something here. We are going to analyze something. Let me see. This is not the presentation for this class. This is the presentation for the next one. Okay, can you see?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, so please in here, what we are going to do is to analyze these things. Okay. The first one, differences between assessment and evaluation. Assessment, type of assessment. Why is assessment important? Examples of assessment, curriculum, Bloom taxonomy, differentiated instruction, and what is feedback. So this is more or less the pace, the agenda for this class. But if we cannot finish, you can check the presentation in advance. So please, to start, just think a couple of seconds and answer these two questions. What do you think assessment is? And what do you think evaluation is? What answer can you give me?
Okay, teacher?
Yep.
Okay, what I think about assessment, it would be like is every activity or everything that you use as an evidence to check if the student is learning or is understanding the concepts or the things that you're teaching during a class or during an activity. And the evaluation, it would be probably at the end of the process, like you make a recopilation of all the activities, all the concepts, and all the different things, and you put into a paperwork or as a test, and you evaluate the students through based on the standards and all these things.
Okay. Any other opinion?
Yes, I just want to add that the assessment, we can do it like during the whole process, during the whole learning process. And evaluation is recognized more like at the end of this process, or at the end of a topic, or like a grammar or something.
Okay. Any other?
Yeah, I would add. Sorry?
Yeah.
I would add that, for example, in the assessment, it's not only activities that you do in paper, for example, like a workshop or a writing activity. It could be, for example, an activity that where the students are engaged into activity, like in a speaking activity, or they just participate, they give their opinion, they're involved into activity. But in the evaluation, sometimes, as we know it, is that it's in a paperwork, and where they have to write, they have to submit at the end.
Okay, Cesar, maybe you are giving also a definition of test.
Okay.
You are right, but try to think if evaluation is only written.
I would say the evaluation checks like a progress, or like a step forward. If the student has comprehended things that have been explained through a certain time, not necessarily at the end of a course. And by assessment, I think most of what they have said is right. Just the alternative assessment that I forgot the name. Our friend just said, that could be, for example, role play, as the things that he stated, a role play. I don't know, for example, a speech or something like that. Not necessarily like on paper or giving options. And evaluation, just to assessment to check their actual level, and evaluation to check if they have done some progress.
Okay, let's see if you're right or not, because some of the things that you are saying are correct, but then there are others that maybe you are misunderstanding a little bit. Okay, the problem is that in Spanish both words are more or less the same. Okay, but let's see. Ouch. Right. Could you please read this part, Luis Carlos?
Absolutely. So differences between assessment and evaluation. One is gathering of information about something, such as student performance, is the act of setting value on the assessment information. Should I continue?
Yeah, please.
Okay. It's a judgment. It's information. Number 3 is qualitative. It's quantitative. Number 4, ranks and sort individuals within groups and pinpoint specific strengths and weaknesses. Number 5 is a diagnostic and informative as well as summative.
Summative.
Summative. It's only summative. Number 6 is most useful to teachers and students. It's most useful to administrators, politicians, and parents. Number 7 is a political administrative measure. It's an educational measure. Number 8 is referenced by criterion. It is referenced by norm.
Okay. So what do you think is the assessment, and what do you think is the evaluation? Because I mean, if you pay attention, is one of the numbers, number 1, for example, is the gathering of information about something, such as student performance, and then it's the act of setting value on the assessment information. Which is assessment?
I think that the first one. First one is evaluation.
And second one?
First.
Yeah. Assessment.
Okay. No. It's
on
the other way around. The first one is assessment, and the second one is evaluation.
So we could say that some teachers, for example, by the end of the term at schools, they just want to make a lot of quizzes because they don't have any grades. They're just evaluating. Yes. Because they're not helping students to overcome those problems they may have.
Exactly. So if you pay attention to this, to the second one, for example, assessment is a judgment, but evaluation is? Information. Yeah, a result. Right? A judgment is based on what you can see and what you can say to your student. Number 3, for example, assessment is?
Assessment is qualitative.
Qualitative.
Yes, and evaluation?
Quantitative.
Yes, so most of the time when you are giving a grade at the end of something, you are doing an evaluation. Right? But
Yes.
when you are giving feedback to your students, not as a matter of grading them, so you are giving qualitative information, that is assessment.
Teacher?
Yep.
Is it possible to have something in between assessment and evaluation? I mean, for example, in a scenario for this, I make an evaluation at my school, and some of them didn't do good, and some of them did, and I go through the topics and more or less explain where the problems could be. Is that could be as an assessment, or is it still an evaluation?
When you determined that some didn't do it right, you are doing a judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So you are assessing, right? So they are connected, actually, if you want to see them that way, right? So for the first time, this first thing that you mentioned, it is kind of assessing. And the second time is giving feedback is still assessing. But when you give a final score to an activity, that's evaluation.
Okay, I see.
Right? Yep.
Got it.
It doesn't mean that evaluation has to do with, okay, in this case it's measurement, quantitative numbers and those kind of things. And usually it is during certain points in the process, during certain times in the process. But assessment is a continuum. Do you understand this?
Yes.
Okay, so when you are asking your students, for example, or when you are giving feedback, or when you are asking, I don't know, like doing some activities in order to see if they understand, you are saying you are doing an assessment, right? So assessment doesn't need to have a final result, let's say. But an evaluation is when you give the final result, like a number. So for that reason, number 7, if you pay attention, what is the difference in number 7?
That it is a political administrative measure, because for politics and that stuff, they only need to know a number, and so they can say, okay, this percentage of the people are not doing good, so we need to blah 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 and this and that, but they don't care about why and what that happened
and what was the process. They don't care about that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, if you take into account the Saber Pro is assessment or evaluation? Actually,
evaluation.
Actually, it's testing, but it is more evaluation. Yeah. Okay. So, and you can see here that in the second part it says it's an educational measure. So the purpose of that measure is educating people, not giving a
like it would be something like I don't forget the name, indicador sintético de, I forgot that, for schools. So schools know if they're going to do in certain subjects, in which ones not. For example, the thing that they do the IAE.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. Yes, the DBA. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So if you can see here, number 5 is important as well. Assessment is
diagnostic
and
formative.
But also
summative.
So you cannot see everything in isolation, but you are going to sum up everything, you know? It is not a certain or a specific moment, but you are seeing more or less. It is, as for example, I don't know, you have a class and you can see that they improve in the use of language. So this is like the assessment that you're doing. But imagine that in a certain moment you get to an evaluation of a specific topic and they fail. Do you think that they are learning?
It depends. I think that teacher must reflect on the way it was the evaluation or how it was assessed.
Exactly.
Because
and what you are saying, it is very important. Yeah, because you cannot assess or evaluate in a way that you didn't or that you wouldn't use during the class, for example.
Exactly.
If you're not coherent, maybe they are going to have problems. Okay, but so far, do you understand the difference between assessment and evaluation?
Yes, teacher.
Any question?
Clear cut for
me. Okay, so question. Do you do or do you assess your students?
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Do you evaluate your students?
Yes.
When you have to.
Yes, when it is demand from the school.
Exactly. So you can see the difference now. You see, it is better. Okay. Let's see.
Does assessment have to be to, for example, one-on-one? I can give assessment to the whole group. For example, everybody did a role play, and certain people are having a specific problem. And if I say in jail, no, some of you are having this problem.
It depends.
Does that count as assessment?
But you can do it. You can do it one-on-one, or you can do it in group. There is not a problem.
Okay, it's just
your purpose.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. So, Carolina, can you please help me with this one?
Yes, it is gathering of information about student learning that informs their teaching and helps students learn more. Davis and Herbst, 2008. Okay. It is the information you get from students' learning process that gives the teacher important data about his or her teaching labor and the way students can learn more and get better results.
Okay, so you can see here that assessment is useful also for teachers, right? So how can you use assessment for improving your teaching?
I learned that way and I'm amazed how nice it is. It works very well. One day they went to observe my class. I started working in the institute like some weeks ago. And once you never ask your student, how was your activity? And actually asking them for their opinion, how was the activity, how did they feel? It helps you to recognize if maybe it was too difficult or if it was boring for them. And when the students are honest, you can get to learn a lot of them from them.
Okay, good. So, any other?
Yes, it's also when you assess, it's relevant for the teacher also because in that way you can learn or you could see if your strategies and everything that you're doing or what you have been teaching is having the results. Or they get the idea, the students get the concepts and the things. If they don't, so it would be the point that tells you, no, you need to improve this, or maybe the student have a lack of this information and you have to reinforce, or they tell you you're doing great. It's not necessary that the student have to tell you, teacher, you're doing excellent or you're doing bad. The thing is, what they do in the class or how they develop the activity and everything using the keywords and everything, they will tell you. In that way, as you assess, they will tell you if you're doing the things all right.
Okay, good. So that's
and also it's an opportunity for the students to identify if they're getting the idea, or if they need to improve or need to make a major effort.
Okay, very good. That's a very good thing. Okay, so we have here two types of assessment. One is the summative assessment and the other one is the formative. Cesar, could you please read? Oh, sorry.
Okay, types of assessment. Summative assessment. It is usually given at the end of the instructions to assess mastery of learning objectives. Types: exams, presentations, creation of a product, portfolio, groups project. The formative assessment is given frequently throughout the course to evaluate process. Feedback must be given to be effective. The types: learning logs, homeworks, activities, discussions, reflections, groups presentations, and practice quizzes.
Okay. As you can see here, you can use times of evaluation, like these ones, in order to assess your students. Okay. And this one is more, as it says, is more summative in the sense that you can, or your student can see their trajectory through the class. Right? This one, that is summative. So this one that is more formative has to do with these kind of things, right? Discussion, reflection, those kind of things, that they can see other aspects, okay? But both are valid, and you can use both even, the summative and the formative. It is not that you have to use one or the other, but you can use both. And actually, I think that you use both, right? Okay, so let's continue. Noemi, could you please read this one?
Sure. Why is assessment important? Allows to adjust teaching in response to students' needs, like informed instruction. Motivates deeper learning, is like inspired. Determine instructional needs. Is an excuse to be better. Quality control of the teaching learning process. Measures learning processes.
So, in your own words, why is this important?
Actually, for me, it's like very easy. It's the way we can evaluate or we can like evidence if the students are getting if they are learning, if that's the right methodology, or if we are using the appropriate strategies. And actually is a way to like improve our labor. Like it's from both sides, from students and teachers. So it is a way to improve our skills.
Yeah, okay, very good. And
I think,
yeah,
continue. I think this is very important because I can manage my class in two ways. If I teach something and I make an evaluation, I just focus in the class to the number of to the grade of the evaluation. But if I don't make the evaluation, but if I make a lot of assessment, that I teach my student that the important thing is not the grade, that the important thing is to learn. How much everyone learn in different, no? But the important thing is that they learn, not the grade. So they will learn in the process. For example, in my video, in the last part of the video, I need to make the evaluation because I close the unit number 1, and I make the evaluation many times because the important thing was to reinforce the information, not the final grade. So that's what I think.
Okay, very good. And actually, you can see, I mean, if you watch your videos again, you can see also the way you are assessing your students, right? And try to determine if it is appropriate for them or if it is not. I have a question. Do you remember what this means?
Zona de próximo desarrollo.
In English.
Zone proximal development.
Yes.
I didn't say it in English. Sorry.
Yeah, you translated, but it is good. Okay, right. So we have to we can determine. Yes, that's Vygotskian theory, right? So you can determine what they need in order to improve or scaffold to the next part. Okay. Right. Let's continue then. I think that a couple of slides more. So these are examples of assessment. And pay attention, this is the more valuable one. Day-to-day observation. Right? Day-to-day. Another is this one, the rubrics. But the rubrics, just because rubrics are qualitative, and you can see what they are doing in terms of the objectives that you have portrayed to the classes. Okay? Another one is this one, the projects, in which you can see the development they have, how they work together. The portfolios, that is a very common strategy nowadays. Do you use portfolios? Have you ever used portfolios?
No.
We do one of my school, but I don't know if it's that one.
A portfolio is like a compilation of the works that they have done, but also it has some, like, let's say, you can use some strategies in order to reflect about their learnings, right? Some people use forms, other people
like
use
a worksheet.
Yes, but they evaluate themselves, and they can see their advancement or progress during the class. They can see that here.
At the end, the students could see how much they have improved.
Yep, exactly. Right. So this is very valuable, but sometimes we use it incorrectly. Right? Sometimes. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about general.
Yeah.
In general. So other ones are these designs or experiments. So there are other kind of things that you can use, but as you can see here, this assessment is based on what they are able to do, right?
Okay.
They are able to know how much they know. That this is another concept, and for that you use evaluation, right?
Okay.
Okay. We can skip this one. So I suppose that you know this one, right?
Yes.
What is this?
That is Bloom's taxonomy feature, and it's related to the scaffolding.
Yes. Very good.
It's to take from the lower el pensamiento inferior, the lower order thinking, to the higher order thinking.
Very good. And you can see here that it is a previous version and another version that is from Schultz. Right? So what can you see? What is the difference?
Because they don't just state the student's activity, but no, the student's action, but the activity they're doing.
Yes.
Like the process.
Right. In the second one is like a more related to what they do. Right?
But as a whole.
As a whole. In here, it is about just like stages. But here is something that they do. Right? Knowledge, remembering. So they can remember. right? They understand. It is not only about comprehension, but it is understanding, right? It's applying, so it is not more active, a little more active in here. So it refers a little more, not only with cognitive things, but how they reflect those cognitive aspects into actions, right? So this is the new version about. So, for example, when we are doing the goals for the class, we use these ones, the ing ones, these ones, right? In order to establish objectives. And also, it is very important, according to this theory, that there are like natural stages. So you cannot go here to the top, maybe, without having passed through these ones in a certain way, right? So these also help us to understand what kind of objectives are we, if the objectives we are proposing are according to the level the group has, sorry, right? This one.
Okay.
Or a person, in the case that you are working with just a person or a group, a small group of people. Yep. Okay. So, okay. I think that this one is important. It is not because it is not, but it is because of the time. So, let's see. Wilton, could you please read this one?
So, it is audible and understandable.
Yeah, Wilton. Wilton. Okay, I don't know what happened to Wilton.
Yes?
Yes, continue, please.
So, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. It is the audible and understandable information that allows students to improve. It is a powerful single moderator that enhances achievement, enhances achievement. It should be about how and why the students understand and misunderstand and what direction the student must take to improve. The feedback to a student should be about the particular qualities of his or her work, with advice or what he or she can do to improve. Should avoid comparisons with other students.
And this is something that we forget sometimes, right? So how to give proper feedback. And I include myself in here. Sometimes we don't follow these recommendations, right? But in this case, do you understand what enhance means? Enhance?
To amplify?
Yeah. It's similar to foster. To enhance is similar to this, right? To amplify, to promote, to push. Okay? It is more or less like that. Okay, guys, so I'm going to upload this presentation. I'm going to wait for your lesson plans, and you have to wait for my feedback. Okay? So is there any question before closing the class?
No, teacher.
We should set the lesson plan this Sunday and the recorded next Sunday.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Yep.
Sorry, the reflection is going to be in another a form. I mean, in another paper.
Yeah, in another one. Not in the. Okay, it is the same form, but I mean a new one.
But have you upload the one?
No, it is the same one.
The same. It's the same.
It's
the same that we used the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
Right. Okay, but don't forget to make a real reflection. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Don't forget about that. Okay, guys. So see you next time. Goodbye.
Okay, teacher.
Bye.
Have a nice week.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye, teacher. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye, class.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.